I feel like this is a way for me to be able to give back. I feel like I can still give back to the game in many ways, whether that be on the field or off the field. And, like I said, this is where my heart is. I'm extremely thankful to be here.
All right, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus channel presented by Connors and Ferris. Mike Catalana, I am Jenna Cottrell. Dan Fates with a veteran day off. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We're going to get into the injuries at cornerback, a familiar face in Jordan Poyer being back here, Khalil Shakir, an update on him. But first, I want to remind everyone, September 4th, we're doing Buffalo Plus Live at the Thirsty Turtle in Victor. 5 to 7 is going to be a meet and greet. Then we're going to record the podcast afterwards. It's going to be a ton of fun. We would love to see you there. It is free to come out as well.
It was fun last year. We're going to be there. I think we're supposed to be outside this year, weather provided, right?
Yes.
If that's the good case, we'll be there.
The weather will be provided. And
yes,
if it's permitting, we hope it's that.
That's what I meant to say. But you are right. We'll be ready. We hope you come out there. But no matter whether you can come or not, we'll be recording a podcast that you can watch.
Yeah, love to see it. We would love to see you out there. Okay, let's talk a little bit. We're here at practice. It's Wednesday. Jordan Poyer being back in the building. We got to talk about it. Signed to the practice squad. We know Jordan Phillips also signed to the practice squad. Seeing number 21 back here, I was like, wow, there's Jordan Poyer. It felt like no time had passed.
It's so wild, though. These guys aren't gone for that long.
No.
But then they come back, right, is the case. And I do believe I mentioned at one time, and I will use this phrase, I believe it was poo-pooed when I said it. Is that really? It is that word, right? Okay. To have him come back, and now he's back. And we can say like Micah Hyde, because Micah came back, mentor role and all those things. But Jenna, Micah Hyde came back in like week 11, and he has a neck injury, and he never played, and it ended up seeming that way. I think it's a mentor role to start, but we'll see how it plays out.
Well, he talked about how, he wants to be a mentor, but also he does want to play. And here's what Poyer had to say about the decision to come back and specifically to be here with Buffalo.
This is where my heart is. This is where home is. It's where I essentially grew up in this game, on and off the field. My daughter's grown up in this town, this city, and I feel like this is a way for me to be able to give back. I feel like I can still give back to the game in many ways, whether that be on the field or off the field. And like I said, this is where my heart is. I'm extremely thankful to be here.
So I think that is going to be something I'm fascinated to watch because, look, Poyer even talked about it. He's 34 years old. Like, he was training in South Florida, but it wasn't exactly football training. What shape will he be in? How long will it take him to feel acclimated and ramped up? And then also, will there be a spot for him out on the field?
Once you hit 34 years old, you cannot stay in shape. At least that's what I've been told.
I concur.
Look, watching him last year in Miami, it was not great. Okay, in the end of his time here, he gives everything on the field. He has been beaten up. Now, he goes down to Miami. Look, he talked about it. That culture down there, not great. I think when you're a guy his age and the amount of time and effort he's put into the league, it's hard to play in a situation like that. But that's where he ended up. I think he'll be revitalized. There's no rush to get him out on the field. If he ever does get on the field, I do think we will see a better version of Jordan Poyer than we saw in Miami. Yes. But, we'll see how this all plays out. It's also, hey, Cole Bishop, you got a guy to help you just like last year. But Bishop is clearly, to start the season, he is the starter, at the other safety spot.
And you got to talk to Cole Bishop today after practice. And I am just curious, what did you get from his reaction?
Yeah, even he said, I'm not 100% sure how this is going to go. They have been talking to Poyer, but I don't think they're sitting there saying to Cole Bishop, hey, we might be bringing back Jordan Poyer. It doesn't work that way. Mm-hmm. His job is to go out there and prepare. I think he loved to get the help that he did from Micah last year. And there is a difference between a coach or just a guy who stops by and helps out, and he's out there doing drills on the field. Yeah. He can physically show you. You can watch him do reps. he is competition for you if you're Cole Bishop, like, because Jordan Poyer, drove to Kansas City to play in a game.
Yeah.
This guy has that in him to be out there on the field. He's going to want to help Cole, but if he's ready, he's going to want to get on the field too.
He did talk about how, I meant when I said I wanted to retire in Buffalo, and playing in Miami last year, it just went sideways. So for him to be back, it's like, yeah, the practice squad is nice, and I think that's definitely a piece of where he's at. But also, you're right. Like, I think he's not here to be a rah-rah guy. Like, he also wants to play if that opportunity presents itself. And that is both based on two things. That is based on Cole Bishop and where Jordan Poyer is at.
Maybe he's going to start a new trend. You are in South Florida, and then you move to Buffalo to retire. Wouldn't that be something, right?
Yeah, that's totally fair.
The other thing I wanted to add is, his teammates obviously excited to see him back, including Taron Johnson. And Taron has seen, like Trey and everybody else, Jordan Phillips, everybody who's back. So I asked him, have you thought about the way you'll want to go and come back yet?
The crazy thing is, I have thought about it because I see it happening so often, but I ain't thinking that far ahead.
Just don't sell your house.
Yeah, I got you.
Thanks.
He's so good, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like, he's thought about it, right? Because he goes, it happens. He's got Trey next to him. He's got Jordan Phillips. He's had other guys, Micah last year. They all come back. They all come back to Buffalo.
They do. Well, Jordan Phillips here today as well. We got to talk to him after too. He had a similar sentiment of like, yeah, I would love to help out the younger guys and teach them how to be a professional. And also, like, I want to play. I want to be able to contribute to this team. So I think for both guys, it's, that aspect of how can you do both, or what does that look like as you are now in the latter half, the ending of your career, it seems.
When you look at the D-tackle spot, right? You got Daquan, you got Ed in the middle. And then behind them, two rookies and Carter, who played very little last year.
Yeah.
So you don't have that experience, and Ogunjobi's not going to be back till after 6 weeks. So I think there is a real path for him to get elevated and get snaps very early on.
Yeah.
Because when you look at how young they are in the backup spots.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like Jordan Phillips has way more of a path to being actually active on game day than it stands at for Jordan Poyer right now. But obviously, we'll have to see how that all plays out. All right, some updates in terms of the injury front. So both Trey White, we got a little update on him from Brandon Beane. Beane was asked if he would be ruled out for week 1. He said, I would not do that. I would not rule out Trey White for week 1. Now, in terms of what the injury is, all we know right now is a little lower leg injury, very hockey. But there was nothing specifically said about Trey.
He's rehabbing. Now, there could be a little gamesmanship, too, because they're getting ready for the Ravens, and it's a little different with Trey. They know Trey. He was on the Ravens. We saw him here. He was not out there. He was rehabbing, but we did see him in the building. So he, and Christian Benford standing on the sidelines, I think Benford's going to be fine.
Yeah, Benford did not practice on Wednesday. I agree. I think it's not something to press the panic button on, but also when you have both of your starting safeties presumably not starting corners not practicing. Max Hairston was also standing next to Christian Benford.
Yeah.
Obviously has been put on IR, so that's something to seriously monitor.
You got to look at Jamarcus Ingram.
Yeah.
Dane Jackson's back on the practice squad, so he's here. And then you look at Dorian Strong, the rookie. So these are your options right now if Trey is not back and ready to go for the opener.
At what point would you be concerned, worried?
I'm a little concerned right now, only because, he was hurt. But, Trey's got his bucket hat on. He's walking around. It didn't look like there was anything in terms of like a brace or anything like that. But again, there's a big difference between walking around seeing us and being out there practicing. So they're going to have a walkthrough on Thursday. They get a few days off. Then they get back here for the next week to get ready. So, hey, if you don't see him out on the field or doing stuff next Wednesday, then you got big issues.
Some positive news. We're going to end with some positivity. Khalil Shakir practicing for the first time since the red and blue scrimmage, which was August 1st. So seeing him get back out onto the field, I think as we approach week 1, which is crazy to think about that it's right around the corner. But seeing him back out there, the rapport he has with Josh, obviously, all of those things, that to me, a step in the right direction.
Absolutely. He's looked good. We've seen him on the side. He was on the bike, and then you'd see him out. And the whole time, and when Sean McDermott was very positive saying, we believe he's back for the opener, you felt like this was the ramp up. It made total sense to see him out there today because he's coming off an injury that he had suffered a little while back.
Yeah.
So all that's a positive. I feel very good about Shakir. Now, again, he practiced today, so we'll see how he recovers from that, but he looked good.
Yeah, agreed. Anything else you want to mention?
Tyrell Shavers.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Got a chance to talk to him, too, about the process of finding out. You know, last year, he found out he was being cut, and then he waited on the practice squad. So I asked him, like, how did you find out you made the team?
I didn't get a call. My phone never rang. So just being able to sit there, and I'm checking my phone every 5 minutes, like, and then not ever get a call, and then we got to come in. We had to be in at 1 o'clock, so it was just like another day. Like, but every time a notification popped up, I'm like, it's the call. But it was never anything like bad or anything. It was just people checking in, trying to see what's going on with me. I'm like, I don't know nothing yet.
The ultimate no news is good news. So he's like, and he said it hasn't really hit him yet, the fact that he's on the 53 and he is one of those 6 wide receivers. But you'd think, you know, and I'm not sure of how much you heard, but, you know, he was also like, people are calling him, and he's like, I don't know anything yet during the day. And then eventually, you know, he's like, hey, show up, we got practice today. And that's how he knew he was on the team.
I'm a little surprised they didn't pull him into the office and give him a little bit of like a, hey, man, you earned this. Are you surprised by that?
I think maybe he's going to hear that, or maybe he has heard it since. He didn't reference that. But they also, look, that dude is locked in.
Yeah.
And he is like, yes, I earned it. But when you're the, wherever you want to say, I'll say 6th wide receiver because he was the, you know, the one that you would have said was added to the list, you are always fighting. You are always fighting to stay on that 53. And the other thing he's going to be fighting to do is to be active on game day. So let's see how that plays out. But I am thrilled for the guy to be out there.
Yeah. And Jimmy Charlo.
Love it. I am a Jimmy Charlo, well, he's a Jersey guy, and U.S. Army guy, West Point.
Yeah.
Made some plays. You saw him on Hard Knocks. Humble about all that. Great to see him out here on the practice squad.
Yeah, I think that was really cool. So Shavers and him, seeing him out there. Obviously, Charlo is a practice squad guy, but still, I mean, he joined the team not even, 20 days ago. He said he came up to Buffalo with 2 pairs of clothes. I would imagine he's got more now.
Yeah.
I'm going to hope he has more now.
Well, his dad and stepmom were at the game. Maybe they brought him some clothes. Jimmy, go out. There's a Target right around the corner.
We were there today.
That's it. So get some clothes. He'll be ready.
All right. Anything else?
No, I don't think so. It's a fun day to be up here. Again, it's this weird time now, the way they do it with only the 3 preseason games, where they're going to just have this.
Yeah.
And then we don't see them for a little while, but it'll be good. And we'll be ready for next week to get ready for the Ravens.
And I do think it's important to note, like, because it's regular season now, it's regular season mode, we cannot watch all of practice. There's a portion of practice that is open to the media. So we can't really give our new dude of the day or whatever because we just don't have the same access. And that wouldn't be fair to you guys to just talk about people that we haven't seen.
So if we only have a limited time in the building, very limited. We're sort of there and then out. But it's regular season mode.
Yeah. As the regular season almost here. Join us Thursday, September 4th, Thirsty Turtle, free to get in, live recording the podcast, meet and greet as well. Thirsty Turtle and Victor, we would love to see you there. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We will catch you next time here on the Buffalo Plus channel. For Mike Catalana, I am Jenna Cottrell, Dan Fates with a veteran day off. Thank you for watching Buffalo Plus, presented by Connors and Ferris.